Hi everybody, it's Diana with Stamping with Di. Welcome to my YouTube channel and this week's Teach Me Tuesdays, episode 316. And like I told you yesterday, I want to play with some of the new stuff I got. So that's what we're going to do today. And I wonder if you can guess the stamp set that I picked to play with after seeing my unboxing yesterday. Can you guess? I think if you've been around me long enough, you probably have. So if you are new to my channel, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. My name is Diana, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm in Santa Valley, Arizona. So welcome. So if you are new, I'm in the chat room during the video premiere. So head on over there. I'll be there with my friends. Otherwise, if you're watching a replay and you have a question or a comment, leave it down below. Then YouTube lets me know and I can reach out to you. If you are new, I would love to have you subscribe, and then that way you don't miss out on anything. Oh, right. Oh, speaking of, if you are new or even if you've been here before and you didn't realize, I have a community button or whatever underneath there. So if you click on that, you can, share maybe some of the stuff, you stamped lately or questions or plant stuff, whatever. So check that out. Okay, so let's get started. So close your eyes for a second while I get my camera adjusted. Okay, so I pulled out a bunch of new stuff. So I'm going to use the new Advent boxes. I'm also going to use the Timeless Christmas DSP. And then here I can show you what I was talking about yesterday, where I have this little envelope here. So I'm using this piece. So I cut it. So then I just put this in here. And this is what I reached to first. So I just put that piece in here. And then I reach to this before I cut, a full sheet. All right. So Eric's home today, so he's doing laundry. So I'm like, him and Jeff are talking in the laundry room. And I'm like, please don't make any noise. All right. So here's our cute little box. And I picked the polka dotted green paper. I need a piece of basic white. What else did I pick here? I wanted to use the Box of Joy. And did you guess that I was going to use the Christmas Crew? I think you probably did. And then I just picked the Paralyzed Faceted Circles as my bling. All right. So I'm just going to stamp my little, and I was calling him a moose. Didn't I call him a moose yesterday? But I think he's a deer, not a moose. I think he's a deer. All right, he's adorable, whatever he is. All right. This way it can be drying really good before I color him. So I'm just stamping with my memento pad. Okay. So I'm just going to set him aside. And then, while I'm doing that, I'm going to use my cherry cobbler. And that can be drying too. So I have my cherry cobbler. And this is where I got the greeting from Box of Joy. And it fits in there perfect. So I'm just going to go on, open it. Okay. And then, like magic, I'm going to use the die to cut it out. Ta-da! All right. Now, I use cherry cobbler because I'm also going to use the new cherry cobbler striped grosgrain. And then I wanted to show you yesterday because I was talking about these. This is the thing that I bought, the little ray done. It just says take one. And then these were in there because of the sunflower, of course. I'm like, oh, I have to have that. And then I was like, well, what am I going to do with these things? Because I don't have long hair. And that's what I ended up doing with them. All right. Okie dokie. So let's get to our box. And we are going to, it's one of these boxes. You can use adhesive or not. And I ended up using adhesive. And I'll show you where. I don't know if it's necessary, but I did. So I'm just going to get all my creases where it goes. And then this comes out. So if you get your scores all happening, it makes it go a lot faster when you're putting it together. Let's see. This one. Because sometimes I'll forget. I'll forget one. Okay. And this. And then this. All right. Now what you want to do is you want to make sure, see these little slits? Just kind of, bring them up like that. All right. Because what you're going to do is this little slit goes inside this little slit. I have to bring it closer so I can see. All right. So that little slit goes inside this one. Like that. And then this is where eventually I'm going to add my glue. Just to keep this butted up to that. Like, I don't know if you need to, but I just kind of wanted to leave the box so it was like this instead of opening fully like that. So and that I think is just a preference. All right. And then this gets folded down in here and there's a little slit right there that little notch goes into. So then you have, this will go like this. And then this is where I put my green tip glue. So I just kind of take my green tip glue and I'm just going to put my green tip glue on here. And you don't have to like load it down, but all right. So then I'm going to put this like that, bring this over. Make sure you get glue all over your fingers. Hang on a minute. All right. So this comes up. Because I'm keeping this flat because I don't want to tweak the box. All right, so once it's flat, then I'm just going to, hold on a minute, lay it down. And I'm just taking my bone folder and I'm just kind of going in there. And then just kind of burnishing it so that glue really gets on that back there. And it doesn't take that green tip glue very long to dry. All right. So then we have our cute little box. And then all I do is put that in there. And then you have this cute little box. Now it does go with that punch, right? And I did punch out a piece. I don't know what I did with it because I ended up not using it. Oh, here we go. This is from that Advent punch. So see how cute that is? You could put it, you know, it would go anywhere. All right. But what I'm going to do is we're going to make a belly band. All right. So let's see here. I'm going to have my seam be at the back, but it really depends. Like if you're going to put something on the front, you could put your seam at the front and then cover it. But my little guy doesn't quite cover the seam unless I bring the seam over to like here. If I bring my seam over to here, because I'm going to put this little guy here. So see what I mean? If I put my seam here, it will cover. So what you do is, you know, just kind of make sure that this is even. So see, it's kind of even. It's easier if I hold it like this so I can see with my crazy eyeballs. But that looks good. And I'm not gluing the belly band because I want it to be able to, you know, come off of there. All right. So I just gave it a little crease, and then I'm going to use that crease and I'm going to bring my, you know, make sure they're even here. You know, these lines. All right. So I'm going to bring this back and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to kind of give it a little crease. Okay. And then you just keep bringing it back and forth, back and forth. Okay. And bring that over here. Give it a crease. You can kind of hold it. Bring it here. And a crease. And then again, just use your little, where you folded it. Like that. So now we have our cute little belly band. I need to bring this here. Okay. So that my fold or whatever is here, my seam, instead of leaving it like this. Hold on. Which, you know, you could, but then you have to kind of fiddle fart with them more. So this is better because then you just have the one little seam to cover up. All right, now before I glue my belly band, we're going to take our, let me get the front, hold on. I did do that right, okay. All right, so we're going to take our cherry cobbler. And I'm just going to cut probably too much because I usually do. But I'd rather have a little bit too much than not enough, and then you're fighting to tie your bow. All right, so we're going to tie a bow around our box. And this is why I picked the cherry cobbler ink, because I was using the cherry cobbler striped ribbon. And then this is always fun, getting those tails to behave properly. And then I just kind of fiddle fart around. with my ribbon. And it's so much easier to do when you're not taping it. All right. So then I just pull. I need to go this way. There we go. So then we have our cute little ribbon on there. And then I want to cut my tails. Now, you can cut them like this, so it's just a flat. But if you want it to look like a fish tail, you fold it in half, and then you cut up, you cut into the seam, like where you folded it. And then it gives you the cute little fish tail. All right, so I didn't waste too much this time. Sometimes I do. So, but what I would do is if you're making a whole bunch of these, after you get one right, then you can like measure from the other one. And then you know, okay, it took this much. All right, so we have our cute little bow. Now you can leave it at that, but we're not going to. We're going to put our belly band over top like this. And we're going to glue that. And then this way, when they undo the present to get their, when they undo the box to get their present, the belly band will hold the ribbon. You know, they'll undo it, but then the belly band will kind of hold the ribbon. All right. So I'm just, you know, bringing these guys up. And I'm going to put a little glue on this side right here. And this side, like that. And then I will bring them together. And then that will hold that belly band on there. So it's not really glued on there. It's just, you know, you could take it off if you wanted. All right, but I love the polka dot and the stripes. It's such a cute combination. All right, so we'll fiddle fart with that later. All right, so let's bring our little deer over and we will color our deer. And he doesn't take too long to color. All right, and it doesn't take a whole lot of blends. Like, look, usually I have 100 blends on my table. All right, so we're gonna go flirty. So we're gonna go, what is this? Dark flirty, light flirty. So we have light flirty in the ear hole there. And then I will do bubble bath. I love those two together because bubble bath is such a pretty pink, light pink. And it just looks so cool. Now, let me see if I can change my brightness a little bit. Let's see if that helps with the color because I can hardly see. Let me move this over. All right. Although it is fair, it's a fairly light color. All right, so let's see here. Then we're going to go light, basic black. Now, you could color his nose red so he would look like Rudolph, but I'm just going to make him be a regular deer. And I'm going to make his nose black. So I have my light, basic black. And then I have my dark smoky slate, and those work so good together. Okay, and then I'm going to do the hoofs with that as well. Hooves, hoofs, feet, whatever. All right, and then I'll take that black like I did before, and I'll just put a little bit on the edge there. All right. Now I do want to take, now this will be hard to see probably, but I'm going to take my dark pool party and I'm just going to put a little on the edge. And I'm just kind of coming in a little bit. So it almost looks like it's like a faded kind of sign. So it has a little bit of color to it. Let's see if I can lift that up. So see, it has a little bit of color to it, but not a lot. All right, and then let's get our deer colors. Oh yeah, and I wanted to do his antlers, and that's the dark smoky slate. And they might really be brown, but in fact, they're probably white, right? When the hair all falls off, but I'm going to do them black. All right, so let's take our 400 and I'm going to go up the nose like that. A little bit here and under the nose there. And the arms and the body. And then we'll finish it with the 600. You know me, I love my 400 and my 600 together. But by going up his nose like that, it kind of makes the nose look like it sticks out. Gives it a little dimension. So I'm just going to cover the rest in with the 600. So this is the stamp set that I asked yesterday if you would want to do this one as a class. And it would probably be the last class I did, you know, this year. Because I'm kind of getting away from doing classes. Unless there's something so super cute. Like I did the scarecrow. And this one is, but like I said, if not enough people are interested, I won't, and no hard feelings at all. But you would get this bundle, the stamp set and the die. All right, and then the box, you know, maybe we'll just make a box as one of the projects, but all right. So there is that, and then I'm going to take my 400 again and just kind of add a little more dark here and there where I lightened it up a little bit with the 6. Okay. You are so adorable. All right, and then let me take my flirty, and I'm going to put a little flirty on the cheeks. And it's kind of hard to see. All right. Then we need our gel pen, of course. So I'm going to put a little highlight on his nose. And I'm going to put a few up here. In the top there. Maybe a couple little freckles. I think that's good. I don't want to put too many. All right. So now we're going to come over here, and we're going to use dimensionals. Make sure it's good and dry before I'm messing with them. And I'm just going to keep my dimensionals towards the center because his little feet will hang down like this, and I don't want to glue them so the belly band can't come off. So, and then I'm just going to make sure I am covering up that seam. So it really depends. I probably could have moved my seam over a little bit, you know, in hindsight. All right, and then let me get my bling. And I'm just going to use the ones that are kind of whitish. So 1, 2, 3. Come on. 4 and 5. I had to squeeze those in just because of where I put my seam. So when I do the next one, I'll know to move the seam over just a little bit. But look how cute. So you have your cute little box with the little bow on there. And then I did one earlier. So I did move this guy over a little bit, but I put the seam on the back. So it's up to you. So see, you know, there's a seam on the back or not. It's totally up to you. If you're going to not put it like where you're going to cover it, just put it on the back and then it's not as noticeable. I don't think I'd put it on the edge. That's just me. But I think they are turned out so cute. I noticed on the one I did earlier, I didn't do the pool party. I'm just going to come in, put a little pool party on my edges there. And then that way the sign has a little bit of color and doesn't look like you forgot about it. Because obviously on this one I did. But aren't they so cute? And I didn't put any freckles on this little guy. So adorable. And you could make these up. Like, look how quick. It didn't take me any time at all to make those. And they're a pretty good size. They're like 3 by 2.5. And then how thick are they? They are 2.5 like tall by 2.5 thick, and then 3 like wide. So they hold a good size little present. And if you do them as the advent, like it shows on the catalog cover, hold on, then you could get this stamp set and then you could have the person picking. But all right, so let me say, see you later, alligator. Adorable. I think it's so cute. The little face. That little face is so cute. And let's drop it on the floor. That's why I don't sell crystal or anything breakable. All right. All right. So I'm going to say see you later, alligator. I will see you Friday for my Dies shorts. And that will be at 3 o'clock Arizona time, same channel. And we will put together the cards that come in the welcome box. How about that? All right. So I will see you Friday. If you have any questions, give me a holler. Otherwise, I'll see you then. All right. Bye for now.